Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we have interesting news. Well, it seems like the Fantastic Beasts is no more. It's no longer going to be worked on. It's not really a thing that's happening. HBO is canceling it, and there's many reasons why it would be canceling it, among many things, such as Ezra Miller and his accusations and all that other stuff that has been going on in the Fantastic Beasts franchise and all that it seems to be. So we're going to go over some of these things and how cancerous it is. Well, what we have here is Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2 leaving HBO Max next month. The first 2 months of the Wizarding World's Fantastic Beasts franchise will be leaving HBO Max next month. As of January 31st, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Fantastic Beasts The Crimes of Grindelwald will be removed from HBO Max. They join a number of Jurassic Park films and DC Comics animated series that are also departing from the service on the same day. The most recent Fantastic Beasts film, Fantastic Beasts The Secrets of Dumbledore, will remain on the streamer for the time being, given the Fantastic Beasts series is made by Warner Bros. This could be indicated the company is trying to sell the films elsewhere. Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore stars Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander, Catherine Waterston as Tina Gusting, Dan Folger as Jacob Kowalski, Allison blah 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 blah. So you see as it is, as you see, and of course Ezra Miller as president, which we have more news on this man. It also seems to be of a bigger issue because he was just served as, being the man of the house of all his accusations. It seems that he has also, his Flash star Ezra Miller avoids jail with plea deal for an unlawful trespass in Vermont. And we actually seem to have the actual video of that happening. So without further ado, let's take a look.
Outlined here.
That's right.
Okay. Do you agree to those facts?
I do.
So you agree that when you went to that property in Stamford, Mr. Winokur's property, that you knew that at some point that you weren't able to go onto the property, that there was notice provided you beforehand that you didn't have permission to enter that property?
Yes.
Okay. And despite that, you were there on that property?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So to that count here, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. The other provisions here is that the probation, it would be a $500 fine of what you would be, what the court would impose on this unlawful trespass, as well as an administrative probation of 89 to 90 days, which means that it's suspended with probation. And so long as you're on probation for the 1 year and complete the conditions successfully, the case is closed.
So yeah, things are not looking good for Ezra Miller here, and it seems he also was the one that was supposed to play Born as he's supposed to be a Credits Bear Born and as Dumbledore in the secondary antagonist of the Fantastic Beasts. He got main roles, and he is being obviously fired and removed for those specific reasons. As we all have this as well, it doesn't seem that the Fantastic Beasts, or rather Warner Bros. In general, are doing great. It goes on to say that while Warner Bros. Discovery has great assets, there are two things working against it. First, CEO David Zaslav has the undeniable task of combining Discovery, which has led since 2006, with Warner Media. As reported by CNBC, Zaslav stepped into a giant mess spinning at Warner Media, and when AT&T owned it was out of control. And Zaslav concluded that the business had been mismanaged. Second, Warner Bros. Discovery's balance sheet is downright frightening. The company has a total debt of $50.4 billion, with just $2.5 billion of cash on hand. Interest payments in the third quarter alone total $555 million. This would be less of a problem if the company was churning out cash, but it's not. Elevated costs and tough advertising environment led to a free cash flow loss in the third quarter. Now, I will agree that it is being mishandled or misrun, but I think it's mostly due to the fact that they're producing woke TV shows. They allowed probably a guy that we would call maybe a child abuser, and pretty much a criminal at all regard into the film, replacing, we would say, Johnny Depp, which doesn't seem to be the best move. Now, does it? I think that's probably one of the bigger problems we have here is that Johnny Depp was removed and being shown that what's her face? Oh yeah, Amber Heard bringing out lies against Johnny Depp and all this other crazy stuff that's been going on. And she was proven to be lied in a court of law. So a lot of people, when they saw him being removed, automatically backlash and didn't want to watch the film, which was part of the reason why that film also tanked. They did multiple things that were horribly wrong, catering to the woke mob, which are not the majority, and this is what happens when you continuously make this stuff over and over again. So now that you have these issues with this type of series, and you're constantly doing this is just doesn't seem to be the way it is. We also have this as well, is that Warner Bros. Discovery reported not developing more Fantastic Beasts films. And we have this here, this stating from Eddie Redmayne, who plays Newt Scamander in the Fantastic Beasts films, doesn't have any answers on the franchise future. I don't, Redmayne answered in an October interview. It's more of a question for J.K. Rowling and David Yates and Warner's, but I don't know. I'm afraid I can't add to that. I love playing Newt. He's a sweet man, despite his uncertainty. Redmayne jokingly confessed to stealing Newt's briefcase from the Fantastic Beasts set. The 40-year-old actor continued by pleading with viewers to tell no one. And that's what the thing is. And I don't know. I think J.K. Rowling could potentially agree to it, but will Warner Bros. Take another risk? Because the show didn't do well at the start to begin with, and they're already $50 billion in debt, so who knows what they could possibly do in this regard. It's not really safe for them to really take that huge of a gamble after their two previous series kind of failed and flopped and didn't do well, and it's more of a dangerous, you have to be taking on that again. So I don't know on how this is going to really be going well here. And it goes on to say here, as many controversies have hit the Fantastic Beasts series since its inception, including rulings against the transgender community and Ezra Miller's string of arrests. The Flash actor had first portrayed credits Barebone in 2016 Beasts and Where to Find Them, a role he reprised in both roles in October 22. Miller pleaded not guilty to felony burglary charges and could face up to 26 years in prison if found guilty. So they have that to work with. The Rolling's comments against the transgender community is not really such as bad as I think that's the majority of the way people think. The Rowling is a lefty, but she's not so far left that she's going to go and condone what transgenders are and say that they can be women or they can be men. So I honestly think that Rowling is fitting with the majority here and not with a psychopath that want to control our lives. And this is just the reality of everything. So I think that this series is officially done. I don't think it's going to be going well. I think that this series that there won't be anymore. And I also think that, maybe, just maybe, that Warner Bros. Is going to do something to get their asses out of the fire because they're being cooked alive. And as of right now, it's not good. Well, guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and as always, take care.